I mean, a game win against a set win against LRA Start. That is something very worth popping up for.
Zero shade to how he won. That's not the intent, but it means like he's willing to play the game that many players trying to pick up Sonic aren't always willing to do.
Yeah.
They're trying to do some of the like crazy confirms and advantage state stuff that you see Sonics do, but a lot of the backbone of that game plan comes from the fact that it is so hard to hit Sonic when it matters.
Yeah, and we gotta mention, of course, Obmcbob. Not really, not too long ago, he was playing Toon Link and didn't really pick up Sonic. So, again, the fact that Obmcbob has been rising up the ranks, very quickly in a short amount of time, just, again, speaks volumes to how much Obmcbob has fundamentally mastered this game.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta figure out your win conditions. Same thing can be said for Mr. Muggs, though, as he gets off to a solid 50%. Instead choosing to cover a lot of spaces and different positions with lingering aerials rather than try and chase down Sonic directly, which, is decently applicable on this Bowser Jr. or the Iggy specifically, because you got the clown cart to rush you down, nair, fair, linger, and have landing hitboxes as well on the part of fair. You've got a lot of means just to cover space with dangerous hitboxes against a rather light character in Sonic.
Yeah, I like how you talked about, covering a lot of space, because Mecha Koopa is able to cover the ground where a Sonic can't, go for spin dashes and risk the fact of getting, getting hit by Mecha Koopa and then subsequently getting hit by a huge combo, but a huge eject into that forward air from Mr. Muggs. Ooh, catching out that landing with the up smash. But yeah, Mr. Muggs has a lot of tools, really, to kind of outplay Sonic. Oh my god. The jab
that trap was so dangerous, but Mr. Muggs very much expecting some sort of like spot dodge or jump instead of going for the forward smash that could have popped the shield. Good discipline on the part of Obmcbob. Let's see if he's rewarded with a stock here. Yes, he is, with the ever so patience on the platform into the drop through back air.
Yeah, very good edge guarding right there. Of course, that back air is such a good move that Sonic has to kill. Such a big hitbox, and I mean, again, kill power, 0, second to none. Up smash, of course, the same situation there for Mr. Muggs. So, again, back to square one for both these guys.
Yeah, a little bit too greedy on that rising up air. It does combo very well for Sonic, but at the same time, you do have to be careful when letting those rising aerials rip around Mr. Muggs. His reaction time with that up smash, very despicable.
Yeah, speaking of rising up airs, of course, that up air is such a good combo tool for Mr. Muggs, especially early percentages, because you're just tanking 50% if, a player like Mr. Muggs, or even like Nimbus, for example, are just going to be consistent with hitting those.
Oh, the jump over there from Mr. Muggs. Never playing the game, but it's Obmcbob finding the pickup. Still collecting as we go back to the other side of the stage. Such a dangerous stage Battlefield is for both of these two. It's the vertical kill power. You know that Mr. Muggs has been hunting for some of these up smashes out of shield, and he might let another one rip, instead just going for the pivot grab.
Yeah, just making sure that Obmcbob stays off stage where Mr. Muggs could get a potential roll read, of course fishing for that up smash once again, but not connecting it. Obmcbob missing these up airs as well, so both these guys whiffing a little bit. Ooh. The clown cart finally gonna take the stock there. I did not expect that to kill there, but hey, a little bit of rage will definitely help.
Dude, he lets spin out rip so often with this side B. And it's like some of it's cool tech, like seeing him go from platform to platform thanks to the spin out. But other times, just using it as a pseudo DP, like, all right, Mr. Thugs is out tonight.
Absolutely. And, I mean, yeah, the way that Mr. Muggs is playing so defensively against a character that, can, approach and kind of just get laid back a little bit. Obmcbob, again, kind of in a little bit of a precarious position where he needs to find the stock sooner, or at least regain the lead. But at 163, when you're giving a character like Bowser Jr. full rage, you gotta watch out. Uh-oh. Oh,
the charge. Safe because of it, and that forward smash in general. So positive on shield. Wow, that didn't shield poke.
I'm surprised. Buff it. Buff Bowser Jr.
I mean, I could see it. That one didn't shield poke either, but it makes a little bit more sense. And reading the spot dodge as Mr. Muggs runs up with the rapid jab. Let's see what traps you can see with this Mecha Koopa. Just tossing it up and looking for some sort of throw. But Obmcbob's going to hold out 108%. So the long game is a little bit out of the picture. You just got to find something big. But those Mecha Koopas covering the ground, intercepting a lot of Obmcbob's attempts at offense with some of this spin dash. Got to play without it.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, we've seen a lot of, potential setups with the Cannonball, with the Mecha Koopa on ledge to potentially catch Obmcbob, hanging on it a little bit too long. But, I mean, right now, Obmcbob desperately trying to find damage, and right now doing very well to chip away 41%. So, comeback, even though it looks very, very difficult, still possible for Obmcbob.
Muggs has got to chill out. He's been playing a little bit too desperate for that back air, for something that will hit and close out the stock from center stage. And Muggs is just taking slow but steady advantage of that. Little bits of chip damage, a nice combo here and there. Very much within range of winning the game here, but you gotta be careful with traveling above Bowser Jr. The Nair after the spin charge will permit another combo. But we're getting to a very even end game here. Who knows what could happen if you find yourself on the back end of a Sonic Force match with this much rage, but the cart dash will close out the stock. Seeing Obmcbob with that down tilt was all that Mr. Muggs needed to let that rip.
Yeah, absolutely. Call it Beyblade. The way he was just letting it rip with that clown car. But again, that just shows really how much of a good tool that is for Bowser Jr. And I mean, he kind of needs it, right? Like I don't think Bowser Jr. is going to be a good character without that minecart. But again, really good setups, really, really good recoveries from Mr. Muggs in general. And even though it was looking very, very doable for Obmcbob, again, just one whiff move, and Mr. Muggs was able to punish. So good awareness from Mr. Muggs to take game number 1.
Yeah, we're past the point of, if you're going to be like a hardcore competitor in this game, you're past the point of complaining about individual moves and what they do. Because we're 5 years into this game and 2 years after the final patch. Like, there is...
That's crazy.
Nothing should be... Things are going to catch you off guard because this game has a lot of niche interactions.
Yeah.
But there's... Like, at some point, you just need to stop complaining and figure out, like, all right, like, I can't be playing the back foot and complaining all the time. I got to figure out the proper ways to counterplay or the proper ways to use your character's tools. In the case of a character like Bowser Jr., nobody's complaining about them, but Mr. Muggs is developing them.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the thing that, a lot of players don't realize is that at some point you're just gonna have to stop complaining and start learning. Because there's just no point in just constantly talking if you're not willing to put in the work. And of course both these guys are putting in the work. Right now, Obmcbob putting the work in this first stock. Constant pressure off stage from Mr. Muggs. A little bit relieved there. Of course, Mr. Muggs coming back with that clown card.
Yeah, the weight of Bowser Jr. will certainly help out, taking some of that big damage at the beginning. I love the idea, though. That's a catch for an air dodge, and if Obmcbob didn't air dodge there, the ledge shot with the grab whiffed. That's so tragic.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, of course, there's a little bit extra length because of, the nature of Bowser Jr.'s grab, but even then, missing that stuff is just gonna cost you so much in the long run.
The shield on Mr. Muggs is just constantly so low, but I love that air dodge through the spring as well, never letting Obmcbob get that free edge guard, but they are going to find that up smash. The spin out taking as much as that gives for the Bowser Jr. as Obmcbob scattered it out so nice.
Yeah, I also just realized we're back on Battlefield, so you can definitely sense the confidence that Obmcbob has. Of course, almost bringing it back and taking the game, taking the game. But Mr. Muggs right now on the back burner needs a little bit of some magic. That just might be it right there. The magic that Mr. Muggs needs, that back air, finally connecting that after that first game missing so much. Obmcbob's advantage has been so amazing against Mr. Muggs.
Slowly and steadily, but they are playing a lot of read-based advantage state, which can get very dangerous compared to Obmcbob's more like hit confirmed based style.
Yeah.
The excellent mix up there, dipping below the ledge just a tad to get Mr. Muggs to drop shield. Very nice play on the part of Obmcbob, and now they get to ride with this lead for a little bit compared to game 1 where it was always so close, and we know that Obmcbob's ready to do so, but a great pickup there from Mr. Muggs. putting on these up airs and doing so much damage to get well within spitting distance.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Mr. Muggs kind of just answering back. It might be a little bit too late, but of course, never say never if you're Mr. Muggs. Again, that shield's so small constantly, so Obmcbob doing very well to just continuously add on to this pressure.
Ooh, the roll on was spooky. He's just going for the jab, that very punishable, with a jab of his own.
Yeah, I mean, that jab is just good, right? It has a lot of knockback,
yeah.
it does a lot of damage, and really, it's like, it's just a move that you kind of just have to respect at all times.
This is spooky now. Sonic controls the tempo, but
Oof.
taking the stock can be sometimes pretty difficult, but Obmcbob on the side of reading that air dodge, able to convert very nice and get some damage of his own.
Jesus.
Ooh. Sonic, you know what? I've been really appreciating some of these like instant jump spin dashes coming out from Obmcbob, catching jumps with it.
Ooh.
And hello.
The brain, I can hear the gear shifting in Mr. Muggs right there. Just that little bit of patience and just reading out Obmcbob's recovery right there just allowed him to take that stock. And speaking of reading recoveries, I mean, Obmcbob has just been doing so well and excelling in that. In this game number 2 right now, constant back airs, looking for forward airs to potentially take these stocks early.
Fighting back though. Oh my god, it is so. It's really tight. You're playing around these center stage so much. And finally, the air dodge red. Wow, I like the coverage there from Mr. Muggs as well. Going high with the eject, but still had the cart explosion to potentially cover, forcing Obmcbob to go to ledge.
You gotta watch out. Can't jump. Nice. Able to... Oh my god.
Whoa,
Obmcbob is... he's trying to bait out Mr. Muggs, but again, that just goes to show that Mr. Muggs isn't, you know, gonna falter to the slightest of movements.
Well, consider, right? Like, forward tilt didn't take the stock at 140 because it's definitely hitting the cart where he takes less knockback. And forward throw is never a kill throw for Sonic, never has been. You're taking all of this damage and just so disciplined and willing to take the grab at those lower high percents. Forward throw, no worries whatsoever. We're reaching 200 and SDing at the end.
And a nice little laugh from both of these guys. Of course, Mr. Muggs realizing that was unfortunate. And Obmcbob too. But again, that's just stuff you gotta take, right? Especially in a scenario where you're down a game. Absolutely. And I mean, that again goes to show that Mr. Muggs is just so willing to take all this damage, not afraid whatsoever, because he knows that at some point he's going to get one confirm. It's going to be game over because Bowser Jr. has really, really good kill power.
Yeah, I think, well, Rage might be a little bit screwy, especially on Sonic's weight, but you definitely had like cart into up B conversions there. Like that were definitely very spooky, but we are reaching 1-1 in our 8 versus 9 seed match. This could very much spell a lot of changes and a lot of shifts for the rest of this bracket, depending if 9 is able to upset number 8. As even as it gets here, when it comes to a fusion match in winners round 2 of all things, and we're going to Hollow Bastion to finish off this set.
It's interesting because the seeding in Fusion has just been so accurate recently. Like, I think in the last month, like, it's always been like a one seed difference between everyone. So hey, fair play to the TOs right there. But right now, getting back into this match, Hollow Bastion, a smaller stage where Mr. Muggs can kind of maneuver around, but of course that center platform gonna help out Obmcbob as well. So,
Okay, that is pretty big to note of getting the cart back after getting hit by Spring a couple times there because you hit stage, but it's still resulting in an edge guard. Big early stock there from Obmcbob. Let's see if they can run with it for that ever so dangerous lead-holding game plan that Sonic is so good at.
And again, you were talking about it before, Obmcbob really excels in that, confirm-based play style, and right now, this is looking very bad for Mr. Muggs, as Obmcbob is just, again, constant pressure, keeping Mr. Muggs off stage, but a really good recovery right there from Mr. Muggs, and avoiding that homing attack as well.
Oh, wanted the roll out towards the corner there, but Obmcbob just taking the roll in, trying to minimize the amount of damage that he takes to prolong this stock. I want to see some callouts on that homing attack. Obmcbob has done early homing attack every single time, just as a means to artificially extend some advantage.
Yeah. Right now, it's looking tough again for Mr. Muggs, who's really relying on these landing aerials that you mentioned before, and Obmcbob has just been waiting for that moment for, you know, that hitbox to just go away. And again, Sonic is really quick, so getting in is just no problem at all for Obmcbob.
Wow, you saw the startup of the down smash there, but
and the F smash.
yeah, Sonic forward tilt is just a little too fast, and he's a little bit too hard to hit. Like, consider the position that Muggs is in time and time again. Wow, dropping the stock there too. This is a chase down when you're in a car and the other person's going Mach 5.
No, literally, it's the difference between like a 1995 Honda Accord and like Bugatti right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Muggs needs to get back in this race, get some footing, and get a little bit more damage and take the stock as soon as possible. But Obmcbob again, just forcing Mr. Muggs is bleeding a lot, so that's not really helping him out. But anything is possible again.
Yeah, I mean, the confirmed basis of some of these, some of this playstyle is dangerous. Two framing as well, certainly on the table, and the coverage from Mr. Muggs has instantly allotted 100%. Homing attack does it again.
The homing attack.
Homing attack in massive air quotes there, because man, Obmcbob kind of autopiloting there. Muggs clearly not in range. That's certainly tough, and it gives Muggs a very, very big chance to get back into this game, especially if he's able to find some sort of throw. But Obmcbob applying the coverage, utilizing that spring to its fullest advantage, but the air dodge up.
Bro's getting these reads, but again, just not hitting her, not getting the timing. Gets the F smash there, and Obmcbob might go for an edge guard. Nope, gonna opt the stand stage. Yeah, cannonball right there. Oh!
And the pop off as well. Very much feinting the tri-state twist of trying to set up for the back throw, but calling out the roll instead. Just how good Sonic's initial dash can be, and it's Obmcbob changing things up in this bracket, taking the first upset over a top 8 seed with a 2-1 over Mr. Muggs. Presumably, he'll play against Marcus in the winner's quarterfinals if Marcus is able to get to him, as he's playing against Artemis right now.
And to give you a bit of an update on the rest of the bracket, Drew Kane going to move on to face Mateo after beating Steezy 2-0. And again, Steezy has been on quite the run. Next up, I believe, is Hayes versus Curdle, who beat MT. And Aquays, of course, recently has just been on quite the run. Again, everyone in this bracket has been in quite some form. So it's nice to see a few upsets here and there. But yeah, Obmcbob, again, just both of these guys really reliant on their confirms. I think Obmcbob was just able to get a few more reads than Mr. Muggs could. And again, just that extra damage really goes to show you how much this lead in this game really matters.
Very, very true. But I did like how Muggs approached the game for the most part, with the exception of that first stock in game number 3 and this last stock here. Like, it was an SD at massively high percents, and a very, very early edge guard, as we saw how high that Mr. Muggs could consistently survive. And just unfortunate that he fell victim to the spring edge guard, missing the tech. But time and time again, Muggs was playing the coverage game well, trying to limit the locations where Obmcbob could run to and figure out different spaces to set up traps or to set up lingering aerials to convert into massive damage. It just so happens that Obmcbob had a couple reads of his own and was playing his character to high strengths and the overall mental game to equally high straights.
Yeah, and that's really what Sonic is able to do so well, is just kind of pull the strings in everyone's mental, because that's a character that can play, again, very defensive, as we've seen from the top Sonics in the world, but can also play super aggressive and have so many confirms that not a lot of players are, really, really well versed in. So then again, that just comes down to matchup experience. But at a high level, man, Sonic is so scary to play against. He's
so good. And I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. His conversion game is incredible, which is what makes it's what separates the top level Sonics right now, because